Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing fantastic out there. In this video today, you can see we have a bunch of tools on the table today. And in today's video, we're going to talk about battery adapters. So stay with me. This one's going to be a lot of fun. So to kick this battery adapter video off, what I want to start with is this row of DeWalt tools right here. These are 12 volt tools. This is a 12 volt 5 3/8 circular saw. If we take the battery out, there's a look at the battery that runs in this tool. So these are 12 volt tools. You got your little button, put the battery in, and there's the saw. You also have an impact driver, also 12 volt. I got a knockoff battery in there. We have the nice 12 volt 5 amp hour battery on this little driver. And then we have a drill here, also a 12 volt tool that has a knockoff battery. So on this adapter, if we take, like, let's say the impact driver, for example, take this out, we can insert this adapter into this 12 volt tool. Now the cool thing about this adapter is it gives the 12 volt tools the ability to use the 20 volt max batteries. So you slide them in to the adapter just like this, and now take a look at that. You're now running your 12 volt tool with your 20 volt max battery. And everything works just as normal. You can go to the first selection, nice and easy. You can go to low, or you could go to high. So with this adapter, it gives you a lot of versatility for your 12 volt tools. You could even use it on the circular saw. So you've got the battery and the adapter here, and you can just put it and leave it just like that, and swap it between tools as needed. So here's your circular saw. It's got plenty of power, no problem at all. You've got your driver, same thing applies here. No problem. The last one is the drill. Now on the drill, I did notice when I was testing this that the drill acts a little different than the other tools. It has like this surging thing that it does. And that's only if I pull the trigger fast and pull it down all the way. If I kind of ease into it, the drill works fine. I can get to full speed. See that? If I ease into it. But that was the only tool that this adapter affected, was the drill. Again, if I ease into it, the drill works great. The circular saw, when I put the adapter in the circular saw, it works good. It just gives me, again, the ability to run 20 volt max batteries in my 12 volt tools. Okay, so right here you can see I have a 2x4. Let's go ahead and take the 12 volt saw with the 20 volt max battery, and we'll see how this cuts this 2x4. So as you can see, when I use the 20 volt max battery adapter for the 12 volt circular saw, it didn't perform that well. But on the impact driver and on the driver itself, on this one, it works good. And even on the drill, it works good, with the exception of having to slowly ease into it on the drill only. So my opinion of this adapter is good. I just wish that it would have done a little better job with the circular saw. If you're interested in this adapter, the link will be in the description box down below. So for the next adapter that I want to show you, we're going to come over to the M18 Milwaukee 6.5-inch circular saw. So in the event that you want to run your Milwaukee circular saw, you can pick up this adapter, which will allow you to use a 20-volt DeWalt battery. So you basically take your DeWalt battery. Here's a knockoff DeWalt battery, 20-volt max. It slides right into the adapter, just like this. And the cool thing about this adapter is you get a USB-C and a USB-A port. So you could use this adapter standalone to charge your phones, your GoPros, your devices, and also you can use it to slide in to your M18 tools and use the DeWalt 20-volt max batteries. So that's what that looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the M18. We'll go about right there. And let's see how this 20-volt max battery does in this M18 saw. No problem at all. I couldn't even tell that there was a difference by using a different battery. So if you're somebody that has a lot of DeWalt batteries, this might be a good adapter for you. Maybe Milwaukee makes a tool that you like and you don't want to buy the whole kit, and maybe you got a bunch of DeWalt batteries sitting around. Instead of buying a battery and a charger or spending the extra money to buy the whole kit to get the saw, for example, you can just buy the adapter and use your existing batteries. So it's pretty cool. It works really good. Plenty of power, as you can see clearly in this video. Okay, let's try that again for good measure here. Let's just tap it in. Let's go about right there. As you can see, it does a wonderful job. So this is a good battery adapter for the M18 tools. And then of course at the end of the day, when you're all finished, you pull the adapter out and there you have it. It worked really well. Now the next adapter that I want to talk about is for Porter cable. So I picked up this little drywall cutout tool at a yard sale. Got it for $5. But I don't have any Porter cable tools. I don't have any chargers or anything like that. Now when it comes to Porter cable, they do offer two different adapters, so you got to make sure that you're getting the right one. This is the 18-volt tool. They also make 20-volt tools. So if you look inside of the tool, you can see how that adapter goes in. So you want to get this one. And what this one does is it allows you to use your DeWalt 20-volt batteries. You put them in this adapter, and now you can run your Porter cable drywall cutout tool. Slides right into place just like so, and you can run this tool. Now I'm in business. Now I don't have any drywall to test this on, but I can tell you I've tested it off camera and it works good. So you just pull this, and this thing's kind of spring loaded. When it goes in, it kind of springs in, and then when you push this down, look, it's gonna pop that way. See how it kind of pops away from the tool? It's like a spring loaded thing. In fact, you can see the springs in there. Right there and right there. So this is an adapter. If you have a Porter cable tool and you want to use the DeWalt batteries. And I can take this a step further. Let's say you have a DeWalt flex volt battery. And this will also apply to the Milwaukee circular saw that we saw a second ago. So here we have a knockoff flex volt battery, okay, a DeWalt. Slide it in, get it into place. Oops. There, we're all into place. And there you have it. There is a real flex volt battery. Let me show you this. So here we have a 9 amp DeWalt flex volt battery that's not a knockoff. Just make sure it clicks in, put it in the tool, and you're in business. So for me, it was much cheaper to buy the adapter for this tool than buying a charger and a Porter cable battery. So by the time I had the tool and the adapter involved, I think I had like $25 wrapped up in this tool, and now I can run it. To me, it was a good option. Now for me, this Porter cable drywall cutout tool is not a tool I'm going to use all the time, so I'm just going to leave the adapter in the tool. Therefore, it is now a DeWalt tool as far as I'm concerned. So anytime I go to grab this tool, it's already got the adapter in. I can slip that in and go right to work with this tool. I can add it to my DeWalt collection. Now this next adapter that I'm going to show you, it's pretty dang cool. Let me clear some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and just pull out these small DeWalt batteries. And let's just use this drill for this example. So let's say you want to run your tool longer. These are small 1.5 amp hour batteries. But let's say you want to take both of these batteries and combine them, making one 3 amp hour battery. Well, that's where this adapter comes in. This one is pretty dang cool. So this allows you to take 2 batteries and put them in parallel and end up with 1 battery. So you keep the same 20 volt max voltage, but you double the amp hour. So you go from here to here. Now you've got 1 battery that's consisted of 2, slides into whichever tool you want, and now look, your tool works off of 2 batteries. The cool thing about putting them in parallel is you can disconnect either battery and run off of the one. So you see I'm running off of this battery here. If I put that one in and pull this one out, I can run off of that one. So if you want to increase your run time, and you can even mix and match. You see I got a flex volt knockoff in there and a regular 20 volt max. It's just going to go in parallel, so it's going to add the amp hour ratings together, and that's going to be what you have. So even if I wanted to put the big flex volt in there, I don't know why you would want that behemoth of a thing. That'd be way too heavy, but I'm just showing you what is possible. That is pretty cool. I like using the smaller ones for this adapter. Simply it stays light. You can see that the tool will tail stand, no problem. It works just fine. So you could even take this idea and slide it into a circular saw. So if you wanted longer run time, there you go. So now you got the circular saw running off of 2 batteries. I think that's just fantastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. I'll move this back, get my speed square, and let's just make us a little cut right here. Get the saw in position, and here we go. Let's see how this works. And there you have it. As you can see, we have plenty of power out of this saw with an extended runtime because they're in parallel. So that's the 2-in-1 adapter. I don't even know what they call it, but I think that's just wonderful. And this adapter, it doesn't matter if you're running it in a circular saw, a drill, a sawzall, a miter saw, it works very good. This is a cool adapter. I think it's wonderful. Now, what I would like to see, and I haven't found it yet, but I would love to see if I could find one similar to this that takes those two 20-volt max batteries and runs them in a series. So it would make it 40 volts max. That would be cool. But unfortunately, that's not what this is. It keeps it at 20 volt max and it doubles the amp hour rating. There's a label on the bottom of it. This next adapter is one of my favorites by far, and that's because I own a lot of Makita power tools. So this adapter allows me to run a 20 volt max battery in a Makita power tool. It also gives me a USB-A port similar to the Milwaukee one where I can charge my devices. So if I take this little knockoff battery here, let's see what we got. Yep, it's still got a charge in it. Put it in this adapter. Now find the Makita tool of my choice and look. Boom, slides right in, and now with this adapter, I can run DeWalt batteries, the 20 volt max or the flex volt batteries in any 18 volt LXT Makita tool. So like this big impact wrench, slide that little battery out, put that in. It works very good. Even if we go into this old drill, works just fine. Now I know some of you out there might be thinking, well, how does that work? The Makita batteries are 18 volt and the DeWalt batteries are 20 volt. Well, if I clarify, technically they're the same voltage in the batteries. If you take a Makita battery fresh off the charger, you're also going to see a max voltage of about 20 or so. So really, DeWalt is marketing a 20 volt platform really on an 18 volt battery, if we're being honest. So that is very cool to be able to run DeWalt batteries in Makita tools. I really like this adapter because most of my tools are either Makita or DeWalt. Now some of you see this old pod style 18 volt Makita 6.5 inch circular saw. But these are pod style batteries and these are the slide style, so this won't work. Set that aside because they make an adapter for the pod style batteries, which allows normal Makita batteries to work. Plug that in, and now all my current Makita batteries will slide in, and this saw is back in business using current batteries. We can even take this a step further by using this setup that we just did a minute ago to use a DeWalt battery in this old Makita tool. We've got two adapters here. This is so fun. So these old tools you could find cheap at garage sales because nobody wants them. The old pod style nickel cadmium batteries are really a thing of the past and everybody wants lithium, so the Makita users stepped into LXT platform But these tools ain't dead. Let's see how it performs cutting a board. Okay, so I've got the old Makita pod style with 2 adapters. And let's see what it does here. How does this thing perform? Let's get this thing in line. No problem at all. Now let's change and let's remove the second adapter, and we'll just put a Makita battery in there. So we'll leave the first adapter in. We'll put the Makita battery in, and then we'll do that cut again. There we go. It was able to cut that board with no problem. Works just fine. So I really like this adapter. So if you're like me and you have DeWalt tools and Makita tools, or even if you're just the Makita guy and you got the old style tools, you can get this adapter for the pod style batteries. Just leave it in the tool like we did on the Porter cable, and this is now, as far as battery input is concerned, this is now a modern tool that'll accept the LXT batteries. I really like it. I think it's awesome. But what if we want to run Makita batteries in a DeWalt tool? Well, say for example, this 7 1/4 inch brushless circular saw that runs on DeWalt batteries and flex volt batteries. Can we do that? Yes, we can. They make this adapter that allows Makita batteries to go into DeWalt tools. So we'll slip the battery in just like this. Now we have the battery connected to the adapter. We'll go to the saw here, slides in, and now we can run this saw, a DeWalt saw with the Makita battery. So let's go ahead and cut this board and see how it performs. I don't think I have room to put my square on there, so we're just gonna eyeball it. Well, I got a battery that's dying on me. So let's get a Makita that has more juice. I think that 3 amp hour is dying. Let's see, what do we got here? 3 bars. Let's go ahead and repeat that test. Okay, plus this is kind of a weird angle, and this is a small piece of wood. It's kind of hard to make this cut, to be honest with you. But there you can see it. It works really good. So now that opens up a lot of possibilities for this 7 1/4 20 volt max saw. So we can use all the DeWalt batteries. We can use pretty much all your Makita LXT batteries. We can use the DeWalt Flex Volt batteries as well. For those of you who don't understand how the Flex Volt works, they have these little switches in them. Now the batteries are in parallel right now, which makes this battery run at 20 volts at 9 amp hour. But when you put these in a flex volt tool, it changes the battery to series, which makes it run at 60 volts at 3 amp hour. But this is a 20 volt tool, but you can still run flex volts in your 20 volt max tools. Just like this, and they work just fine because you're not switching over to, you're not pushing those switches, because on the back of the saw there's nothing, it's flat. It's a 20 volt tool. If we look at the 60 volt tool here, you can see on the back there's these little tabs right here, 1, 2. Those are the tabs that when you put the 60 volt flex volt battery, and those tabs are the ones that are going to hit these switches, and it converts it over to a 60 volt battery. Now unfortunately, when you go with a 60 volt DeWalt flex volt tool, you cannot run the 20 volt max batteries, because when you hit these nubs right here, the battery will stop. See that? The battery hits. So personally, I like the 20 volt max tools better because of the ability to run flex volt or the standard 20 volt max, or like I showed with the adapter, using a Makita battery. It's just awesome. So here in a nutshell, you've got a Makita battery into a DeWalt tool, 20 volt max, or a DeWalt 20 volt max into a Makita tool. That's pretty cool. Now what about Metabo batteries? Like this 10-inch miter saw, for example. What if you want to run a DeWalt battery or even a flex volt DeWalt battery in this saw? Well, that is possible. They do make this adapter, which takes DeWalt batteries and it makes it where they can work in a Metabo tool. You got the little tabs on the side, very similar to Milwaukee. And let's just go ahead and use the knockoff flex volt battery. Because there's nothing pushing those tabs, it's going to be 20 volts. We'll slide it into this saw. Let's see, it's hard here, hard to see. There we go. And now, get my hearing protection. Let's take a closer look and see how this battery works in this miter saw. So I'm using a DeWalt battery, a flex volt battery, in this Metabo miter saw. Turn my light on. You can see my cut line. That worked fantastic. What about the regular 20 volt DeWalt batteries? So we have 2 bars left, so we can take the whole thing out and we'll swap out the batteries. We'll put the 20 volt max in. Slide the adapter in the tool. Unlock the saw. Turn our light on. Get our blade into position, and let's make another cut. There you go. It did fantastic. Now, some of you are probably wondering, well, what if you wanted to stack batteries? These ones are a little hard to get out. What if you wanted to stack batteries? For example, what if you wanted to use the Makita battery in this Metabo saw? So what we got to do is locate where that Makita one was, this one here. So we have the Metabo adapter that goes to DeWalt. Then we have the DeWalt to Makita adapter. So we're going to double up on our adapters, putting a Makita battery into this Metabo saw. Let's just lock it into place for a second. We'll slide this in. There we go. Let's unlock. Get the thing in position. Let's turn our light on. And now we're going to make a cut using a Makita battery in a Metabo saw. And there you have it. As you can see, whether we use Makita batteries or DeWalt batteries, or even the standard battery that comes with the tool, the Metabo, in either case we're able to run this saw on just about whatever battery we want. So you saw the flex volt knockoff, you saw the 20 volt max, and now you saw the Makita. These adapters just make it so versatile for you to use your power tools. I absolutely love it. Let's go ahead and put this back down, turn the light off, and then pull this out. They're kind of tight. This one's kind of tight. Well, folks, that was a lot of fun. That's all I have for you today in this video. Well, folks, that's all I have for you today on this video, showing you all these different battery adapters. If you're interested in any of these battery adapters that you saw in this video here today, I'll make sure to put links to them down below in the description box. Now, there's a lot more adapters on the market than what I showed in this video here today. So there's a wide range of possibilities that you can get your hands on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to thumb up this video, leave comments down below and let me know what you think. And if you like the content that you see on my channel, please hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, select all notifications. And with all that being said, folks, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.